Hello. Happy Saturday, Tania.
Oh, hello. Dang, I was hoping I could have my headphones link up on here, but I don't know if I can.
I can hear you good.
You can hear me good? All right,
Yeah.
hopefully the people around me don't mind. I guess it's like if I was talking to my friend. I
Yeah.
ended up over here at a local coffee shop.
Oh, nice. Nice. It's like I can see at the back. It's very
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I see
Sunset
mountains.
Coffee House. Yes, there's some
Wow.
mountains. They live in a valley.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow. Because you know what? I live in Niagara Falls, Canada, right? There's no
Oh, okay.
mountain around
Oh,
here.
no, no mountains.
So, yeah,
But you
it's
have the
just,
waterfall, yeah?
yes, I do have that waterfall, that one. Yes.
Yeah, I've never been there,
Oh,
but
oh, you gotta come and see. But it looks like you live in this beautiful place.
thank you. Yes, it's nice.
Yeah, yeah, that's so good. So let's get it started. We are going to talk about consistency, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So
Yes,
can I start again? Can I not again? Can I start first? Is
yes,
it okay?
yes.
Okay. I have a few questions, right?
Okay.
It's a few questions, right? So I watch your IG lives, and the thing is, I find it was so I was very impressed that you are talking about the consistency and then money and food eating habit, right? Those
Yes.
two, it's like everyday things, and then almost like almost everybody they wants to have the good consistency habit, but they
Right.
can't, right? And I was so
Right.
impressed the way start changing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the financially, I was just like, yeah, that's the way you get out of debt. You have to make a plan. You gotta stick to the plan.
Yep, yep. And sometimes you got to revisit the plan too, and
Hmm.
sometimes you got to be real and decide, like, oh, is this as much as I could really be paying towards something else? Like, I have this extra money that I could go have fun with,
Hmm.
or I could consistently pay towards that debt or whatever you're trying to get rid of so you can
Yeah.
get less interest to pay too.
Oh, the big interest. I know that. So I have a question, another question. That kind of like, I'm curious to ask. So when we said, okay, we're gonna save money, right? But when your friend, like say your friend ask, you know what, Tanya, let's go to concert. Let's go for restaurants, right? And then you're just like, I thought I'm gonna save money, you know. But how when you have that moment, ask friends or whatever you feel like I want to save, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe I should go. I should spend. How did you change? What did you do that? Like, how
So
did you
for
like just
me,
not spending money?
So for me, the key is you got to give yourself a budget for fun money. Like when you're deciding you're going to do that, you have to allot, $20, $40 for you to get to use as fun money for whatever you
Mm,
want. And so then you have that time. Like, oh, okay, I could save up for this concert that my friend invited me to,
mm-hmm,
or I could you know, not spend money today on this coffee and tomorrow next month I could have money for that concert, right?
mm-hmm.
And then when you want to say no, if you're going to be motivated and consistent with it, that's oh, unfortunately I don't have the money right now. Maybe next month because it's in my budget.
Yeah, but it's like lots of people they don't have a courage to say that, right? It's just like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, it's out of my budget. But if I say budget, okay, my friend Tessa Marie, I get in trouble, so I have to say spending plan. But it's okay. She's not here. She's not here,
That's all
so
right.
I'm gonna say
Everyone can
budget.
call it what they want to.
Yeah, it's hard. It's just like, oh, I made a commitment. I have to be consistent to save money. But
Yes.
oh well, just one day, just one night. Okay, I go.
Right.
It's so hard to have a courage. Stick to your plan, right?
Right. Then that's a different subject. Right?
Yeah, I
And that's,
know, I
that's
know.
all of us taking time at that point.
Yeah, I know, but it's a hard to be consistent. And about the
I have.
food too.
Sorry, I'm getting
That's
my
okay.
drink.
That's all right. Go ahead. That's okay.
Oh no, sorry. Thank you.
Oh, we should have.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Sorry.
No,
Got my
it's okay.
tea that we ordered.
Oh, nice, nice. What kind of tea you drinking?
A hibiscus and something else. I'm not sure. It's iced tea. I forgot already.
It's that looks so fancy. Hibiscus is good, right? I think,
Hibiscus is
Oh,
usually pretty good.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, very much, very much. Okay, so
Yeah.
like another one is food.
Food.
How did you make it happen? You lost some weight. You made a commitment. I'll eat healthy, right? And
Yeah.
then,
I was doing the keto diet. Now I'm doing more healthy eating. Yeah. So now I'm just trying to focus more on eating a little bit healthier.
mhm.
But I haven't decided quite yet if I'm going to go back to keto myself. But I think the same thing of having your why. I saw you were talking about the why video the other day.
Yeah,
And I think that's a huge one, because you don't know why, just like when you aren't motivated, you have to think of your why to keep you motivated,
yep. I
like.
agree. I agree,
And my
100%.
and my daughter's in my my big reason why, so I can be there for her and be with her more often and longer in the future, so I'm just trying to stay consistent so that I can really do it this time around.
I
And for me,
agree.
to love myself more.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. It's gonna be all good things, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And sorry, did Rosie ask, where do you live? Rosie Rose.
I live in Salt Lake, Utah, the USA.
Yes.
Salt Lake City, Utah. Hi,
Nice.
Rosie. Thanks for watching. I
Yeah,
think I see
Angela.
Angela's here too.
Everybody's here. Yeah. I think it's very important. If the why, if you know why, you have to go back why. And then
Yes.
you can go back. You can just start taking action again. You can be consistent, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
Exactly. And sometimes you fall off.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you stop being consistent, and that's okay.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
just about like, okay, I'm going to go back to it now.
Mhm.
I've got to remember my why again and then start doing it all over again. And
Yeah.
that's okay if you fall off a few times.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh yeah. I
Mhm.
know what you mean though. I've been there. I fall off so many times, but I used to like just like, you know, why did I do that? I used to blame myself, right?
Right.
And then I find it that didn't help. I felt so guilty, right? And just like my self-esteem is getting lower and lower. It just didn't help. Didn't
No.
help.
And that's another part too, sometimes is like reminding yourself and saying it. For me, it was like, I'm getting out of debt. It's not that I'm broke. Because I think a lot of times people say, oh, I'm broke. I'm
Yeah.
so broke. I
Yeah.
don't have enough money. It's like, no,
Yeah.
you're not broke. You have money and you know where your money is going.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That's
going to
exactly.
your debt that
Yep.
you're choosing to do and pay off so that later you can, enjoy a life that's better than what you're doing now, which is just slaving away to pay this debt.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know what you mean though. The more money, even if you put $5, $20, even if your budget is so tight, but you keep paying it, right? You keep
Yep.
paying it, and then you're getting closer to out of debt, right? Like closer and
Hmm.
closer to. That's very, very
Yes.
important. That's very important.
Yep.
Yeah. And
And
then,
sometimes you have to rebalance, right? Like if you put everything that you can towards it and something comes up in your life, then you have to reassess, right? Like
mhm.
this last 3 years, I've been working on paying off debt, and I've done a pretty good job, in my opinion. $15,000 down, in 3 years. And I got married at the beginning of it. I actually got scammed right before I got married, so that was like I was already close, and then it's all
Ouch.
over again.
Ouch.
So yeah, it was a really hard. Now I don't trust anybody. I'm like, oh, you're calling
Yeah.
me? Okay, send me a letter. Goodbye. You
Oh,
know.
yes.
But
Oh, yes. Oh,
yeah, and then
that
I
was a
had a baby, and
painful lesson, Tanya.
yeah, that was a painful lesson. Yes, so
Yeah.
I'm almost out of that lesson.
Good. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
You know what? When I was young, when I was early 20s, I got those scams, actually. And then I just like, wow, I'm paying a lot, actually, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
And here
you
we
know, like,
are.
yeah, this is like, $500. But if you use credit, if I use credit card and then just adding interest and interest, by the time $500 product turn into $2,000 product,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So we learn the painful
Yeah.
lesson, So I know what you mean, but I'm glad you learn from lesson. Some people, they don't learn. Even if my
Uh-huh.
age, they don't learn. And then they still
Yeah.
keep saying, I am poor, I'm broke.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Yes. And
yeah,
that's the hard part. And you're
yeah.
never gonna not be that until you change that mindset. That's like a whole nother part of the consistency, right? You gotta
Oh,
pluck
yeah.
that weed.
Yep.
Pluck the weed out of the mind garden.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you have to keep placking the weed,
Yeah, you
right?
gotta pluck out the weeds. Yeah. Like get that thought out of here.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, the keep placking the weed is you have to take consistent action to keep taking weed out, because weed grows like out
Yes.
of nowhere and so strong all the time. You're not even watering it, nothing, but start growing,
Oh yeah, and the
right?
roots, they go deep,
Oh,
the
deeper. Yeah,
roots, they just get way in there.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
true. And that's why they grow. And that's
yeah.
why you gotta like plant the seeds in there too. Like, okay, I'm doing this because I want to do it. This is my why behind this part of my life.
So it's the why the
Whether it's the,
seeds. It's the seeds.
yeah, it kind of are,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like the consistency, like it's like you replant and water the seeds by doing consistent actions.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Consistent action is actually, it helps to just grow the plant, right?
Yep. I mean,
I
the
like
sun
it.
usually comes out every day. It's consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So the plants have that every day, and then the water, well, if they're only depending on the naturalness, then they've got to survive that, right?
That's right. Oh, I
Which
like the
we do too,
analogy
which
you
is
use.
nice.
Yeah, it's like I can picture right away. Like, yeah, I can vision, right away. That's really good. That's really good. I like
Thanks.
that. Yeah, I learned a lot.
Well,
I learned a
I heard
lot.
it a long time ago about the weeds in the garden of your mind and planting other seeds. It's like a bunch of different like people's ideas.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always good to hear it in different ways and get it from different sources.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And those ones you always like. I think it's like, where it depends where at your stage of your life you can hear different way. You can hear deep,
Yes.
right? It's just
Oh
like
yeah, that's
that.
a big
Yeah,
part of it.
that's a big
It's a
part of
big
it.
part of it because you think, oh, when I was 18 or 16, and you say something like, oh, when you're 30, you're gonna do this. You're like, no, I would never do that.
Mm-hmm,
And then you
mm-hmm.
get to that age, and you're like, oh yeah, oh, and then in 10 years or 20 years, oh, I would never do that. And then you end up living that same life, or you end up going through similar experiences but different ways, like,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Well, that like, and you have to ask, am I really happy or not? Right? When you get the
And
moment.
that's the authentic side,
Yeah.
you
And then
know.
I noticed your profile, Instagram profile said like true to yourself, not true yourself, right? Like,
Like for
be
me, it's
authentic.
wanting to
Yep.
be to love your authentic self and to
Love.
remember that you are perfect the way that you are,
Mm-hmm.
with your flaws and your imperfections, because nobody else in the whole world is like you, because you're your own person and that makes you special.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like how Evan Carmichael says about how we all bring something different to the world, right?
Yes.
Like we
Everybody
all,
has different
it's the
talent.
same,
Yes.
yeah, it's the same kind of concept, but I think sometimes you have to really focus on loving yourself and accepting yourself,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can live that way. And I
Yeah.
think that's one of those places that I struggled with for a really long time. And I think a lot of people do as well. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's part of why I always like to, that's one of my things right now is trying to help other people
To
listen to
love.
their body,
Yep.
do what they want to do. And sometimes it's not the right thing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it changes.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
I
I
think listening
agree.
to your own body and having that be something that you're attentive to, taking care of you and yourself is also key. You can't be consistent if you're not taking care of yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you exhausted, tired, you don't feel like keeping that good habit. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
Exactly.
yeah. I know. I know what you mean. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then, like, you know what? you and me, we have like a little bit of an age gap too, but it's nice. It's nice, even if you're, it shouldn't say it's not nice. God, but I just like, oh, you guys have the same problem. Like my generation,
Oh yeah.
right? Is
Oh yeah.
we really bad at it. Like we love ourselves, but we don't know how to our love self. Because how we grow up is, you like, it's like you gotta take care of the others, not us,
Uh-huh.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how we brought up, right?
And I think sometimes we just do that, especially if you're a mom or anything like that, is you forget to look at you and say, like, you just identify with that role instead of also remembering that you're your own person and you can like and need to do your own things sometimes too.
Yeah.
And I think that's hard because most of this whole last way the world's worked, right, is like the woman's the homebody and we don't do much besides like take care of the kids and we do provide the love and all that versus also needing to have our own time away and to really just do our own thing
Mm-hmm.
so we know us as our own person,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
just mom or cleaner or cook or clean, you know.
I remember like one time, long time ago, I just like I told my husband and kids one time, I'm not your servant. I'm
Yes,
your
yes,
wife. I'm your mom. I'm not your servant.
exactly.
And I started freaking out. But okay, they look at me like, no, you're not, mom. This is like, what? And then I realized that like I was the one doing it to myself, right?
Yes, yes,
And
instead
then
of saying
yeah,
no, you do it.
oh, you know what? That took a lot of courage for me to say that, right?
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, so one day when my young one is like 8, so it's like 12 years ago. So I just like, you know what? Okay, I have a meeting. So I got family meeting. I told my kids and husband, I get a family meeting. I want to tell you guys, I am no longer cooking Friday, Saturday. Is it okay? And they just like,
Well, you even asked.
what's that?
You even asked if it was okay.
I just, is it okay? It took me a lot of courage. And then they just like, yeah, all right. They
Okay.
just like, yeah, okay. So I just like, oh, that's good. So I felt so good, right? I got a big relief and I felt so good. And then that wasn't it, actually. After that, I had to take consistent action not cooking. That was the hard
Oh
part
yeah.
because like
Yeah.
I felt guilty, right? And when I saw my husband and kids, they were struggle to open, like, how do I open this can? Like, like, oh my gosh, like we got nothing in the fridge. Or do I have to order pizza? Right? And when they started
Right.
saying that, I just like, okay, it's gonna be easier for me to just forget about those, like I'm not gonna cook. I call it survival night, right? I call survival
Yeah.
nights, right? Those weekends. So like it's just okay. I'm gonna just like forget about survival nights. I'm gonna start cooking again. I almost wanted to say to my husband like first year for whole year, but I just like, you know what? I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. I had to tell myself consistently that I will not cook. Sometimes I
Yeah.
had to, yeah, force myself to go out around dinner time,
Yes.
right? I had to
Yeah.
make a plan. So I didn't need to be there, right?
Yep.
At home.
Because you do not. Yeah. Because you don't have to. They can feed
I
themselves,
know. I know. That
and
was
it's
a hard
hard.
one though. That was a hard
That
one
is
for me.
hard. I know that's hard. I think we all struggle with that, especially when it comes to people we love, like our husbands and our
Yeah.
children, like, and being the mom. Like, you want to
Yep.
also do that for them. You want, we're built to serve, right? We
Yep. We're
want to
built to serve.
serve.
Yes. Yeah.
But we also need some time for us away from the duty when it's all day,
Yep.
every day, when it's not like, when it's just an expectation, that's also really hard.
Hmm.
And sometimes you need a break.
Of course.
And 2 days,
Yeah.
2 days out of 7, that's not bad,
That's not bad. I asked them to just, can I have 2 days off? Right?
right? That's
Yeah,
great.
I know. So it's been so many years, right? And then my consistent action right? Not cooking weekends. And then, you know what? That paid off because my boys, they're great cook.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
And now
yeah.
hopefully they cook for you sometimes too, right?
They do, they do,
Oh,
they
good.
do. So,
Oh, good,
yeah.
good.
And my husband, I don't say that he's good cook, but he can cook. Like he only used to be able to cook just what is called grilled cheese sandwich. Open the can,
Yeah.
right? That's all. But now he can cook chili.
That's good.
Two
Yeah.
things, but that's okay.
Yeah. Hey, he'll be able to eat. If you got to go away for a few days on a vacation or
Yeah,
something, he's good. Or
yeah.
business trip.
He'll survive. He'll survive.
Yep.
He can rotate those two things, right? The chili. Oh, he makes a bunch of chili and then you put in the freezer, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the smart way because then you don't have to cook it every other day.
Oh, I know, I know. But it's very hard sometimes, like for us, just just we have to just like remind ourselves that we have to take a time for ourselves. If we take time for ourselves, like self-care, we can love ourselves more, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we have more to give, right? Because then we're full and then we can give to other people then at that point too.
I agree. I agree.
Today's kind of one of those days for me, to be real. It's like I'm doing a girls' day. I got my friend here at this coffee shop and we're doing
Amazing.
some self-care days here.
Nice.
So that's one
Nice.
of my new consistencies I'm going to be working on. And sometimes it's just identifying it and
Mm-hmm.
then choosing a couple things that makes you feel good.
Oh, very much, very much. Right?
Hmm.
So you have a daughter, or do you have a child, children?
Yes, I have a 2-year-old
2 year
next month.
old. Wait, is
Yes.
okay, who's watching?
She's with
Who's
my dad, with her grandpa.
nice. Was it easy for you to like just like I am going to have a coffee with my friend. Can you watch? Not even watch, but like
Uh,
I'll go. Was it easy for
I
you?
get
How did you?
That's the part that gets a little hard.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Mr. Bell. I see you here. One of
Uh-huh.
my friends is
Oh,
watching.
nice, nice.
um, let's see. I think I can figure out how to wave. Maybe she's gone.
Yeah,
Um,
I
but
can wave her. There you go. I go.
oh, thank you.
Yep. You did actually
Yeah,
wave, so that's good.
right.
Yeah.
um, well, my dad loves to spend time with her too, and
Mm-hmm.
so I've actually been going through some hardships of my own recently, and so my dad's been very supportive and helping during the times that I'm not at work to spend time with my daughter, and it's good bonding time for her too. So they they like to watch her, and sometimes I'm there too, and we just hang out all day.
Mm-hmm.
But I think right now it's like I have to remember, like, if I'm not okay and I can't be happy and full and fulfilled myself, like, then I'm not going to be able to take care of my daughter as good as I know I need to.
Yes.
And so even though right now, like, I've been having my own mom guilt of like, oh, I've been trying to make things work
Mm-hmm.
for so long that the weekends always go to this specific person, or to this event so that we can try and build things. And so
Yes.
we've been having her spend more time with people. But at the same time, it's like until I know things are going to be in a good place, like it's better for her to be in a place that's safer and more loving at the moment than when
Mm-hmm.
I need to work on me
Yeah.
or when I need to work on me with this other person. You know what I mean? And so I have to remember that in this moment, it's
Mm-hmm.
only a small moment that I'm away from her.
Yes.
But in the long run, taking the time to heal myself is going to benefit her because I'm going to be able to teach her the lessons I'm learning now so that she can hopefully learn it without necessarily having all of the bad experiences, or to teach her to like take care of herself first,
Yes.
because there's always going to be someone that's going to be there to take from you easily. And if you can't even identify that
Yeah.
and have your own healthy boundaries for what makes you feel good, or
Yeah.
when your body's sending you signals like, hey, you have anxiety right now because something's not good, like life's not good,
Mm-hmm.
but you ignore it and you don't do something about it, then you end up in a weird place, kind of like how I'm in right now, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
pushing through it. And so you just have to like learn to acknowledge that and then say, what does it teach? What do I need to learn right now? What needs to change? what am I still doing that
Hmm.
is not working? Like
I
sometimes
love
consistency is
that.
on the opposite side. Like if
Yeah.
you're consistent in doing the thing that you shouldn't be doing, then it leads you to more unhappiness
That's
and
right. Yeah.
more anxiety and panic and trauma, or more weight if it's a weight thing,
Hmm.
like all of it.
Yeah. I
It's
totally,
always either one way
no.
or the other.
I totally agree. Agree. Like, the things is, I realize that, like, say, like, you are also, but you doing have your self-care time for your, I mean, good things for yourself, right? I think you are giving a big favor for your daughter, right?
Yeah,
And then like, you know what? It's just like, I felt the same way. I just like, you know what? I'm
I
not
feel
gonna
that.
repeat. I'm not gonna repeat this pattern. My grandma, my mom, right? My aunt. I'm not gonna repeat that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not gonna, like,
You
I
gotta
could,
break the cycle.
yeah, break the cycle. I remember when I did the collaboration with Rosie, right? And
Oh
Rosie
yeah.
said same things. Like, we gotta break the cycle. It takes a courage, but if we do that, right, we gotta keep consistent action to break the cycle. But and they do that, and you're gonna do a big favor your next generation.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
And I think that the world right now is in a place, it's like a sensitive place that a lot of people are opening up and waking up in certain ways,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
there's so much more
Yeah,
collaborations and things to learn. And it's such a great, amazing time we're in
I
too.
love it. Yeah. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
here's Rosie. I see her comment. It does take courage and awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rosie.
Yep. I put a like to. There you go. That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. Right? So, oh my gosh. Okay, but the time flies. I want
Right? Is it?
you gotta go back. Have fun time with your friends.
Yes, thank you.
Oh,
Well, thank you for talking with me.
thank you so much. And we're cycle breaker. I like that.
Ooh, I
We're
like it.
we're movement makers, and we're also cycle breakers. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think it's yeah, those strong words, Rosie. I love it.
That's so true. Okay. Okay, but thank you for your time, Tanya. I really appreciate you made a time. You made a time for me this Saturday
Thank you.
afternoon.
Likewise. I needed help. I have one more collaboration tomorrow with Ida to
Oh
talk
yeah?
about more financial stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Ida's a pro, right?
yeah, I think I'm gonna do the first challenge clubhouse this month. I'm excited.
I am so looking forward to see you at the clubhouse, Tanya.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you
Well, have a
so much.
beautiful rest of the Saturday.
All right, thank you so much. Have fun with your friend. All right,
Thanks.
okay, thank you. Bye everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, Rosie.
Bye.